Hey Sagittarius, how are you guys doing today? I'm here with your reading. Excuse me. My name is Emily Gear. I am a multidimensional channel and a transformative energy healer. And we will be doing your weekly messages for the upcoming week. If you have not already, check out your sun, moon, and rising and Venus signs to get a more complete reading. One or the other may or may not resonate with you, as I obviously cannot connect with every single Sagittarius that there is in existence on the planet. And the other thing I wanted to mention is sometimes the roles can be reversed, or it can be a slightly different situation. I might be talking about a relationship, but it might relate more to your work life, something like that. And if it still doesn't resonate for you, it just might not be your week. So I appreciate you being here. Please hit like on this video. Please subscribe to my channel. And without further ado, let me just get into your reading for today. This is a general reading. You're first coming up with the Wheel of Fortune. Let's see what else comes out with that. But in general, that is kind of the feeling I've been getting for a lot of the fourth quarter. I call them the fourth quarter signs because it's the fourth quarter of the year. A lot of that sort of energy where there are big changes coming in. And they're faded. They're positive changes in your life, but you might be a bit uncertain about them at the moment because they are so big. And they might be changing the trajectory of your life because that's what the Wheel of Fortune does. But it's always for the better. Okay, oh my. Okay. Next, you have the Lovers with the Four of Wands popping out, which to me talks about, typically was going to be talking about a marriage. And so you may be having some big changes for the better involving a marriage or home situation. So to know which way, because changes for the better could really go in any direction. So let me just see what I'm feeling. I am really focusing on the way that the tree is burning over Adam there. And so I almost feel like there's this, you may be feeling this period of like falling apart, of like things coming apart, things deconstructing, decomposing, regenerating. It's kind of this transitional period for you. And so whatever it is going to bring in a greater stability in your life, whether this is a new relationship or a new thing that you're embarking on, maybe a new career path, a new job, a new sense of stability. Maybe money has come in. It could be a lot of different things. But this also makes me feel like there's a new sense of self-awareness that brings in some joy and happiness. It almost calms you down in a way you haven't been in the past because you might not have been connecting to that part of yourself. And in connecting, you learn to connect to that part of yourself through whatever this like fire in your life was, whatever this thing is that was just falling apart or coming apart at the seams. It could also have been a big ignition of energy that happened in some aspect of your life that might have started to point you in different directions, that made you start to look at what really makes you happy, what it is that you truly want, what would really make things feel more stable in your life. And so I feel like things are changing for you, and you're coming to a new, what I'm really getting here is you're coming to a new level of awareness about your day-to-day mundane life. Usually my readings are very energetic and spiritually oriented. I'm trying to look more at the mundane, the relationships, the jobs, the things that we deal with in our day-to-day life as well. And so I do feel like this truly, wow, okay, that this truly does impact that. Okay, this is interesting. So having said all of that, it's really backed up by the next two cards, which is the Nine of Cups with the Sword of Truth, the Ace of Swords, right? So this is like really knowing what it is you want in your life and evaluating for truth and clarity what's in your life now. Like, this needs to go, this needs to stay, I need to do what's right for me, I also need to do what's right for them. So it's trying to balance the moves that you make based primarily upon what feels good and what feels right to you, but also knowing that, you know, there are other things involved. There are, you know, there could be organizations relying on you, companies relying on you, families relying on you, children relying on you, and you're trying to make, and it's not about trying to make the best decision. You will make the best decision, because what you're doing is looking at what it is that you want in your life. And that's your job here. Like, everyone else is part of that and taken into consideration, but all of those people receive the best of you when you are doing the best by yourself, if that makes sense. So I think you're really starting to understand that and starting to value your own contentment, your own happiness, your own feeling of, you're beginning to see your worthiness to receive, okay? Your worthiness to receive are the words that are coming through. That means that there is a bit of work and a battle ahead of you, because what we have here is the devil, which are all the things that keep you chained. This could be a lot of different things. This could be a negative relating pattern, like codependency, being codependent, obsessed with another person, or relying so tightly on them that you think for some reason you can't exist without them, you can't picture yourself without them. It could be a negative, like being a workaholic. It could be any kind of addictive behavior. It often is addictive behavior in some sense, whether that's being addicted to like expecting the worst, negative thought patterns, or it's addicted to another person where you feel like you cannot make it through your day if you don't see or hear from this person. Like I said, addicted to work, you feel, that's me, you feel like I've actually changed this about myself a lot, but I have been this way in the past, where you feel like you're not living up to your potential, you're not reaching your goals, you're not doing everything you could or should be doing, getting ahead, that kind of competition energy, if you're not working, right? And speaking of competition energy, here's that competition energy. It's not only competition, though. It absolutely can be this sort of mental browbeating that we do to ourselves, within ourselves, and it comes from our ego wanting to protect ourselves, you know? But what it ends up doing is cutting off your nose to spite your face. You know, you end up blocking yourself from something better in order to hold on to it's that idea of a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. So you hold on to something that's not helpful for you, and because you're afraid to potentially have nothing if you go after the two. So there's fear involved here as well. I also feel like there's a lot of very petty like battles going on, ego battles, struggles of will between either your partner or within a business situation, a partnership of some sort. This could fully be taking place in your own head, but is probably taking place in your head and externally, because that's how our lives tend to work. What is internal, and it's one of the Hermetic truths, is as within, so without, as above, so below. Everything reflects each other and plays itself out. And so the reality is really only what's inside here, because when you change that, which is the only thing that you have control over, you affect your external reality, right? It feels like this huge struggle for self-actualization. It feels like the struggle to really, really, truly embrace this attitude feeling worthy of everything that you're deserving of and capable of and desire in your life, okay? It feels like the breaking of the chains of perhaps a relationship which keeps you held back, negative thought patterns which keep you held back. I feel like a petty power struggle. This is needing to release from that power struggle. So you're only, again, able to affect your behavior. And so if the other person is not also releasing themselves from the power struggle, then you need to release yourself from the person, okay? Same if it's, like a job. Like, let's say you've got a power struggle with your boss. You either need to release yourself from caring about that power struggle, right? Or you need to release yourself from the situation. If that other person is not also coming to that same balanced point of view about this struggle, about this ego struggle. And this card is really is typically ego focused, okay? And that's, let me just define ego for you for a second. So ego is not about being too big for your britches or think you're so great. Like, that's how popular culture uses it. Your ego is a necessary part of your personality, which attempts to protect you. And in doing that, it often blocks you. It serves a purpose, but it needs to be kept in check, okay? And it also tends to manifest from the subconscious and from your wounding, right? Because it's protecting you. And so this ego is often kept in check and more often soothed by integrating the shadow aspects, the wounding that's in the subconscious, and seeing it and looking at it for what it is, okay? So there are a lot of pieces to how this works, and so it may be that you need to look deeply at your childhood wounding, your wounding in relationships, your feelings of being insecure or not good enough. Any of that kind of stuff needs to be looked at in order to sort of soothe this ego in a more in a meaningful way, okay? So ego is not saying that you're walking around thinking that you're better than other people or being pushy or being dominant or anything like that. But it is saying that you're acting out of a place of fear, protecting, wounding that you may or may not be aware of. And so bringing awareness to it is the first step, and sometimes the only step that's necessary, okay? Deep wounding may need more, work, but that's the first step, okay? So I hope that helps to clear up some confusion that tends to come up when talking about ego. I'm really feeling that this Five of Pentacles here is talking a lot about that feeling of not being worthy or not being good enough or being shut out. That I'm hearing right now you've shut yourself out of your own life by accepting behaviors on your own part and from other people which are not worthy of your own divinity, okay? Every single human being contains a spark of the divine. So you are a part of, as we are all one, the divine and contain divinity within you, okay? Forgive my words if I'm not explaining that perfectly. I'm not really, you don't need to spell it all out in the comments unless you really want to, in which case have at it. But I try to make it as simple as possible for everybody. So anyway, you carry that spark of the divine within you, and I feel like there's this part of you that's not recognizing that feels like a bum. And you're not a bum. You're a spark of the divine. There's divinity within you. There's deservingness within you, and you simply need to recognize it and receive. One of the other signs got that message. I think it was Scorpio. It might have been Libra. But that's very important to you now, that expecting more from your relationships, from your life in general, is important, because you deserve that, and you're not going to be reaching your potential and therefore living your purpose and therefore honoring the divinity within you if you continue to accept less than. You're accepting less than because you believe you are less than, okay? On some level. It might not be even conscious, but that's what's coming out here. And so if we were to return to the first cards that came out, this has ended up being a lot of relationship reading, but it absolutely could be work. I feel like the message is really that you need to reevaluate who's bringing what to the table in partnerships, okay? Because it could be that table is on fucking fire, you know? It's just not conducive to growth and expansion. It's burning itself up because you're not putting in equal parts. And I feel like there's a chance that neither one of you, that you're both acting out of your own wounding. I don't even want to say there's a chance. It's definitely the case. Like, you're both acting out of your own wounding. And you cannot control how this other person heals or even wants to acknowledge that, okay? And so your own stability, your own happiness, what it is that you want and desire in your life needs to begin to take precedence, because you need to make some decisions and get clarity on that, okay? What's our time? Oh my gosh, we're already at 16 minutes. So let me just, I'm going to go ahead and pull an animal spirit card for you, and then we'll take the relationships directly into the extended read on Vimeo. That will be relationships and an energy healing. So let's see what animal spirit card wants to come out for Sagittarius for the upcoming week, please. The collective of Sagittarius, please. Turkey spirit. Turkey spirit. Give with gratitude and grace. Turkey spirit, give with gratitude and grace. And that that actually does tie in with how we were talking about potentially needing to change your mindset about things. Like, for instance, if this is about a struggle with a boss at work, you need to decide, do I really care enough about this to allow it to destroy my outlook on the rest of my life, right? Or my outlook on my day. Ruin my day, basically. Am I going to let this ruin my day? And when you decide not to do that, then you start to bring in, if you then employ gratitude and grace, and you give and receive with gratitude and grace, it turns around all the energy in your life. So it's a direct contradiction of this energy of fear and competition and ego, right? So this is the advice to combating this energy, which may be surfacing in a lot of different ways in your life right now. So combat it with gratitude and grace. All the things in your life that you're grateful for, just give thanks all the time to whatever the fuck you want to give thanks to. Like, it doesn't matter to me if you believe in God. There's still gratitude to be had for existence, for your life, for the fact that you took a breath this morning. Not everybody woke up this morning, dude. So think about that when you are getting stuck in this energy here of not being good enough, your life sucks, being in competition, feeling like you're always losing, wanting so badly to win, all of that kind of stuff. That those words, those phrases might not directly relate to your life, but it's this energy that is needs to be released. The chains need to be cut to it, and this is absolutely a direct path to that, okay? All right, guys. So thank you so much for being here. Please like, subscribe, share, comment. Any of those things help to get my videos to be seen, and I appreciate your support. If you would like to join us over on Vimeo, the link is in the description box below, and I will see you there. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.